In a move that has captured the attention of the world, former President Donald Trump announced a major prisoner exchange between Russia and Ukraine, heralding the initiative as a breakthrough toward peace. The exchange, which marks one of the most significant gestures between the two countries since the conflict began, signals a rare moment of cooperation in an otherwise deeply divided region. According to Trump, this agreement was the result of months of intense diplomatic negotiation, involving behind-the-scenes conversations and the collaboration of several international parties. In his statement, Trump expressed sincere hope that this prisoner exchange would serve not just as a symbolic step, but as the beginning of a larger process, a turning point in efforts to resolve a conflict that has left thousands dead and millions displaced. He spoke of the pain and hardship that the ongoing hostilities have inflicted on families and communities on both sides. For many, the return of loved ones is a small but deeply meaningful light in a challenging time. Trump emphasized how humanitarian concerns must take precedence and how the world expects responsible leadership from both nations, especially at such a delicate juncture. Observers from around the globe have responded with cautious optimism, noting that the successful implementation of this exchange could create momentum for broader confidence-building measures. Over the past several years, trust between Russia and Ukraine has eroded to historic lows. The rupture was profound, not only between governments, but also between everyday people who shared cultural, economic, and familial ties across the border. Rebuilding any sense of cooperation has proven exceedingly difficult, with failed ceasefires and accusations of bad faith overshadowing sporadic attempts at dialogue. The successful return of captured personnel, however, offers a tangible, human-level success that even hardened diplomats struggle to ignore. Trump's announcement also included a call for continued international engagement. He acknowledged the role of mediators, including neutral countries and international organizations, who he believes should seize this moment to push for further de-escalation. As Trump phrased it, diplomacy is not a one-time act, but a process, one that can only advance through sustained effort and willingness to compromise. The families waiting for their loved ones spoke out with relief and cautious jubilation. Many had feared they would never again see their husbands, sons, mothers, and daughters who had vanished into custody in foreign prisons. Their stories are a poignant reminder of the very real stakes behind political maneuvering. Even as headlines focus on statecraft and strategy, it is essential to remember that every agreement, every handshake, can make a direct difference in the daily lives of real people. For some, this exchange will represent the start of reconciliation within fractured communities. For others, it is simply a chance to begin healing personal wounds. International reaction has ranged from hopeful to skeptical. Some analysts warn that while the move is promising, it may prove symbolic unless backed up by further substantive action. Others, however, note that all meaningful diplomatic breakthroughs begin with steps like these, where adversaries demonstrate a capacity for trust and restraint. Some have drawn parallels to historical prisoner swaps that preceded broader peace talks, suggesting that this could indeed foreshadow a new chapter, if both sides demonstrate a genuine commitment to negotiation. As details of the exchange continue to emerge, much remains uncertain about what long-term impact this breakthrough may have. The road ahead will require careful navigation as both sides balance the expectations of their own citizens with pressure from the international community. Still, for now, there is a sense of guarded hope, a recognition that progress, however incremental, is possible even amidst great division. As Trump himself remarked, every journey toward peace begins with a single brave step. Perhaps, in the wake of this exchange, the world has witnessed one such step on the path to reconciliation. The successful completion of the first phase saw 270 Russian soldiers and 120 civilians reunited with their families, marking a moment of profound relief and emotional reunion. The broader agreement, brokered in Istanbul, envisions as many as 1,000 prisoners from each side being released over the coming weeks. This development not only underscores the effectiveness of persistent diplomacy, but also signals a rare willingness to prioritize humanitarian concerns, offering a glimmer of hope amidst ongoing uncertainty and tension. Despite the significance of this direct meeting, both nations remain cautious. Ukrainian officials have underscored that, apart from the humanitarian success of the prisoner exchange, little concrete progress was achieved during the discussions. Russian representatives, meanwhile, have indicated optimism, confirming that a second round of negotiations is on the horizon, with preliminary peace documents already in development. The delicate nature of these talks reflects persistent distrust, yet the renewed dialogue offers a glimmer of hope for continued engagement and eventual resolution. As tensions escalate within the European Union, Hungary finds itself at the center of controversy. EU leaders are weighing unprecedented measures, including suspending Hungary's voting rights and curtailing vital financial support, over concerns about breaches of core European values. Despite fierce objections from Budapest, the EU is simultaneously advancing Ukraine's membership talks, signaling a commitment to enlargement even in the face of internal discord. Observers warn that these moves could redefine both the EU's unity and its future direction. Despite diplomatic breakthroughs, intense clashes persist along the border. In a bold move, Ukrainian forces launched an offensive in Russia's Kursk region, aiming to disrupt defensive lines. Russia's response was immediate and forceful, deploying artillery and anti-tank weaponry to halt the advance and destroy an armored convoy. These renewed hostilities underscore the fragile nature of recent peace efforts, reminding the world that, while dialogue has gained ground, the path to lasting stability remains fraught with peril. In this context, many analysts suggest that Vladimir Putin may now be more open to a political settlement, acknowledging that a decisive military victory remains elusive. At the same time, Ukraine confronts mounting challenges on the battlefield, particularly due to dwindling numbers within its armed forces. As both sides grapple with the limits of military action, the spotlight shifts increasingly toward diplomatic strategies. These dynamics are shaping the contours of future negotiations, with the prospect of peace still uncertain. As tensions persist, Russia has intensified its efforts to undermine Ukraine's effective use of unmanned aerial vehicles. By employing sophisticated signal intelligence systems, Russian forces are identifying and targeting Ukrainian drone operators with growing precision. Suicide drones, or loitering munitions, are then deployed to neutralize these operators, jeopardizing Ukraine's tactical edge in the battlefield. This escalating campaign not only threatens vital surveillance and strike capabilities, but also heightens the risks faced by Ukrainian personnel on the front lines. Amid heightened international scrutiny, the European Union has intensified its calls for a firm U.S. stance, urging Washington to demand that Russia accept an unconditional ceasefire. Germany, playing a prominent leadership role within the bloc, advocates for even stronger collective action, emphasizing that the pursuit of peace may require imposing significant costs on Russia. This unified front within the EU illustrates a growing impatience with the status quo, as leaders weigh new strategies to compel meaningful progress toward ending the conflict. As pressure mounts for unified action against Russia, doubts are surfacing about the effectiveness of European Union sanctions. Notably, some EU countries, including Spain, the Netherlands, and Belgium, have increased their imports of Russian liquefied natural gas, even as leaders urge a halt to such trade. This contradictory behavior underscores the challenges of achieving true solidarity within the bloc and raises questions about the impact of sanctions when economic interests and energy dependencies remain deeply intertwined. Amid rising tensions, NATO's decision to boost its military presence near the Russian border signals a clear message of deterrence and solidarity with its eastern members. Recent drills in Finland, featuring British forces firing Hellfire missiles from U.S.-made Apache helicopters, highlight the alliance's commitment to readiness and interoperability. These maneuvers are closely watched by Moscow, fueling further distrust and heightening the risk of miscalculation in an already volatile region. As each side seeks to assert its strategic interests,